I've been seeing in the news and on LinkedIn that the tech industry is having some more layoffs, and it got me thinking about a story time I thought I'd share. I know it's kind of in vogue to slam managers, and I just want to offer the other side of that coin. And I'm certainly not saying that the position that a manager is in is worse than an individual getting laid off. I only want to offer that very often the manager that's being told to perform that layoff or, add names to a list can be, take it really hard. So again, thought I'd share a story time. A little more than a year ago, so maybe October of 22, I was a leader of an organization at my last company. We had, about 70 individuals on my team, and we had to do two people got laid off in September, and it was kind of the start of the storm of the layoffs that were about to happen, and hadn't had any layoffs at this company in at least my part of the area for 6, 7, 8 years or something. So having to lay two folks off was difficult, super uncomfortable, and we all hoped that was going to be the end of it. By, I want to say, maybe October, my boss told me and my peers that we had to find another, 10% of the team to let go. And of course, we're just supposed to maintain all of our exact same commitments. We're just magically supposed to be able to keep all of the business outcomes that we had made commitments to. Sure, no problem doing that. That was kind of ridiculous, but that's what we were asked to do. So we had to identify however many individuals, and we knew that the beginning of January, middle of January, was when the fateful day was going to come that we were going to have to let these folks go. Certainly made it difficult from the time that the decisions were getting made, through the holidays, seeing folks go have an enjoyable holiday, knowing that they were going to come back and have a very different experience when they got back from their break. Certainly weighed on me, but I was glad that the company was able to wait until January. And I see that's what a lot of other companies are doing now again. So the hardest part of all of that was the week that these layoffs were scheduled to happen. I want to say the layoffs were going to happen on a Tuesday. On Monday of that week, the day before the layoffs were going to happen, the boss comes to me and my peers again and says, well, the quarter that ended in December was horrible, and we now have to do a 30% layoff. And by the end of this week, you have to tell me all the names that are going to be let go in March. I for sure felt like I had just been punched in the stomach. I think it was clear for everyone in that conversation that there's now no way that we're all going to be able to keep those same business commitments. Now we have to figure out what projects are getting cut, along with, of course, the individuals. Trying to come up with those decisions at the same time as the next day having to let folks know that they individually are being let go. And I did all of those individual phone calls. It may have been as a group. I don't actually remember. Then you've got the rest of the whole team looking at you to tell them that it's going to be okay and that it's all done. And, understandably, folks were coming to me saying, this is really stressing me out and it's affecting my sleep. And please just tell me that everything is done and that we're all going to be fine. And here I am knowing that the bigger cut is now coming in March. And I've got a couple of different choices. I can either say, nope, there's more coming, which was not an option. My boss, HR, all of them had said, you obviously cannot communicate that there will be more coming. I could have said, oh yeah, no, everything's fine. This was it. This was the big cut. Everyone just put your head down and keep going. Or I could have taken the middle road, which I did, which was to say, things remain incredibly uncertain. We're going to cut these projects along with, of course, the resources that were going with those projects. And we're just going to put our heads down and try as best as we can to deliver those business results so that the business can get back to a healthier place and we can stop having these layoffs. But those 2 months of knowing individuals around me were unfortunately going to be getting laid off for no fault of their own, simply because the business had grown too big too fast, and then when the downturn happened, the funding all went away and we had to make these cuts. And it was so difficult and hard knowing, somebody else's future before they did. And again, their situation is worse than mine. I am simply trying to highlight that there's a lot of managers out there that really feel for their team. They want to do the best they can for them, for both anyone that's unfortunately getting impacted and getting let go, and also for all the folks that are staying. How do you keep people motivated when they just are telling you how worried they are for their job? And of course they can't focus. And, it was just a horrible time. And again, circling back, I just want folks to know that while there's probably a lot of managers that do deserve the bashing that they get, there's another side of it that, if you're walking in those shoes as that manager, as that organizational leader, it can have its own challenges. And just hope that can maybe add a little bit of context of it's not all rosy and wonderful when you get to be an organizational leader or a manager of a team.